Hello everyone, it's Winona from Dairy Barn Art. Welcome if you're new and welcome back if you've been here before. It is Sunday, January 26, 2025. Wow, that month flew by fast. Today's not a regular Flosstube, it's going to be a WIP Parade, and I have to talk about that in a few minutes. But this channel is mostly about my cross stitch and my quilting. I think that's about it, my sewing and quilting. I do paper crafts, but I haven't done anything in the last year. But if I do anything, I might show it on here, or I might just show you a finished product. I don't know. I love to make mini albums and junk journals, and I've got all the supplies. I could probably make them till I die, and I would still have supplies to do that. But yeah, I moved it all to the basement last year, and I just haven't got down there to do it. But before we get started in anything, let's start with everyday gratitude. And today's everyday gratitude is by David White, and it says, being unappreciative might mean we are simply not paying attention. And it says, what gifts are simply waiting for my attention? I don't know. But some of them stump me, and that's one of them that stumped me. Oh, my hair! I got a new wig. I bought. If you haven't been to my channel before, I had breast cancer and I had chemotherapy, and the chemotherapy did a lot of damage to my body. And one of the things that happened is my hair didn't come back. So I buy wigs. And there's this Wig V, I think it's called, and they have cheap wigs. They only have them in one color and that. But they had a sale on, and they're about $50 Canadian. And so they had a sale on if you bought 2 wigs, you got one free. So I ordered 3 wigs, and this is the one I like the best, I think. My son says, why did you get gray? And I said, well, I could be gray right now, but I'm not. The hair that came in really dark, and my hair used to be blonde. So it's kind of funny that I thought I'd come back all gray, but it didn't. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. It's just that time of year. Everyone's doing WIP parades. So I thought, well, I should do a WIP parade too. I was really surprised when I started organizing and found out I have about 49 WIPs. That was a shock for me. I didn't think I had that many. But as I said, I'm not going to talk about what's happening in my life. I'm just going to jump right into the parade because it's going to be long enough with the 40 WIPs. 49 WIPs, I should say. So grab something to drink, find a nice comfy place to sit, and welcome to my WIP parade. Okay, my first WIP is from around 2012. I think I started this, and I was working on it. Here's a Floss Boss and Cousins Don't Be a Heifer card. Yeah, I named it Project 00 because I started keeping track of my projects with number 1. And since this was the oldest, I gave it the 00. This is a Buchilla kit that I bought at Hobby Lobby, and it was called Rooster. It's on 14 count Ada from the kit, and here is where I'm at. Kind of got a bit of a mess here. It's definitely going to have to be washed if I ever finish it. But I'm thinking, like, I've got pretty much all of the Rooster done, and I'm a good ways on the border. I just have a little bit to do down here, and then this side, and hopefully they meet. But if not, I think I can fudge it a bit. I think I can figure that out, and then do the legs. And then I've got all the back stitching to do. And I don't mind back stitching, but there is a lot on this chart. There is a lot. So this in here, I have some of the floss that I used for it. So I just have to go through and make sure I still have all the floss. There's another space where I have floss too. Because I stopped cross-stitching for quite a while. I went to work in the city, and I stopped cross-stitching for quite a while. And I never picked it up till 2023. So I definitely want to finish this, and I'm thinking I should try to allocate just 1 day a month to work on it. And I think it's amazing how much you can get done in 1 day a month. So my next WIP is Miranda. This is in a Lori Holt bag that I made, and so was the other one. And I've got the little name on there. And where am I at here? This is what it looks like finished. Oops, there's glare on there. And I'm almost done stitching it. I just have to do some of the beads. Isn't that amazing how that looks like it's gold and it's not? It's a combination of two other threads. But I've got a little bit of stitching down here and then to do the beads. So I don't think that should take too long. If I give that a 5-day session, 1 month, I probably would finish it. And that's my goal this year, is to start giving some of these a 5-day session. And I may not finish it that month, but I should be able to finish it, because I got my thread stuck in here. Well, I'll have to fix that after. This is what I'm currently working on. This is, oops, Flea Market Flowers by It's So Emma, and it's a Lori Holt pattern. In my bonnet. And this is number 6 of my projects. I started this July 24th in 1923. And this is on some yellow Aida that I've had for years. I'm using the Called For DMC. I have the hoop on because I'm currently working on it. And here's where I'm at. Now, I want to be honest with you. I made mistakes here, which I don't think matter because it's all symmetrical. But somehow I messed up this flower. You see how it goes like this? The blank spaces, and how this one it kind of doesn't. And I think that just involves me taking this floss out here. So I think that'll probably get done at one time or another, but I don't think I'll worry about this because this is all symmetrical. And truthfully, nobody would know. But this has been in a bag downstairs for quite a while. And I used to crochet in the morning for a little while. And right now I'm doing my cross stitch in the mornings instead to try to get this done. And this is in another Lori Holt bag that I have. That I made, I should say. Okay. And then next we've got a Stitcher's Garden. I need to make tags. I haven't made tags for a long time. So that was number 9 in my project numbers. And sometimes my project numbers don't coincide with the dates, because at one time I wrote down everything that I had a kit for, had kitted, and wrote them all in my book, and I never started. I still haven't started some of them. This is another Lori Holt bag. This is by Tiny Modernist. And this is stitched on 28 count Water Lily by Witchelt. And this is where I'm at. I'm stitching the fence. This side is done except for the back stitching. And then I've got a little bit to do on this side. It's identical to that side. I made a mistake somewhere in here. I'm out a bit. Not worried about it because I fixed it in here and made sure everything was correct there. And then got to do this side. And yeah, like if I gave this a 5-day stretch, there's a good chance I would finish it. So that's going to happen. I don't care for the Witchelt linen. Others may, but I don't. And I don't care for the 28 count. But this was one of the, when I went to see the Ark Adventure in Kentucky a couple of summers ago with my mom and my son. And I stopped at Keepsakes in Cincinnati, and I picked up a whole bunch of charts, and this is one of them. No, this isn't. This is one that I ordered from 123 Stitch because I got the linen with it. But That's got to be worked on. These small bags are a bit too small for most charts. And then I've got a little piggy on there, a Lori Holt charm. This is the day. This is I think from Lori Holt's Prairie collection, the scissor drop, and I can take that out. I can take that out, and I can take that out. I make a working copy of my chart so I can mark it all up. And that's why I can't show you some of the things. This is stitched on. This was started on August 6, 2023. It's my project number 10. And this was stitched on 36 count vintage country mocha. And this was my first time stitching on a 36 count linen. And I fell in love. I absolutely love that linen. The vintage country mocha. I just love it. This is what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. This is going to get finished this year. This is going to get a 5-day rotation. I tried to do it on Sundays, but Sundays are often pretty busy and I don't get time to stitch. So I'm just going to take it 1 month. I'll give it 5 days or 3 days or whatever, and I'll just keep doing that until I finish it because I really want to finish it. The house took quite a while. I took this to StitchCon with me. I had the house outlined and I stitched the roof in, I should say. I stitched the roof while I was at StitchCon in the summer, in the spring there. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I've still got some stuff to do on the side to do that border. There's another border here, and there's another border down here. A lot of people left them out, but I think I'm going to put them in. And I did stitch the goat up here, which I thought was pretty weird at the time, but I still stitched it, and I honestly think I'm going to keep it in. I had thought of putting a butterfly there instead, but there's a goat here. I think there's 2 goats. I think there's 2 goats right there, and then a bird. I don't know. We'll see. I've got a ways to go before I even make that decision yet, but I love this. This was, yeah, I just love working on that. So why isn't it finished then, right? Because I have 49 other WIPs, that's why. Okay, this I call Pink Rhapsody, but it's actually called Blue Rhapsody. It's by Rosewood Manor, Karen Kluba, and I just love this, but I'm not a blue person. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it in pink. So I ordered this linen from Evertote. I don't even have that information on here. I'll have to. And I ordered some floss that I was going to stitch it in. And it was a 36 count. Well, this is not 36 count. And I was just struggling to do it. So I kind of gave up. But I think because I have been stitching a lot on 40 count lately, I will give it a try and see if I can do it. And if not, I ordered 32 count. Ooh, I got a needle in there. 32 count Coco Loco I picked up, and actually I think the pinks even are stronger on there. So I might just try it on the 32 count. We'll see. And start over. Like, I thought if I could finish this and if it matched up, I would continue on with this. But I don't know what count that is. Like, that is really tiny. But we'll see. I started that when I was just starting to work on 36 count, and it was too hard for me. So, but now that I've been doing 40 count, maybe I can do this. And I have extra floss in there because it's going to take more than one skein of floss to do it. So that's my pink Rhapsody. This is a bag I made out of fabric I've had in my stash for years. It's Little Red Riding Hood. It's really cute, really pretty. Okay, Come to the Garden. This is Teresa Kogut. This is one I want to get finished this year. This again is a bag that I made. This I made at a retreat I went to. Well, I hosted it actually, and I didn't have very wide zippers, so I made it long instead of wide. I would prefer to make it this long, but make it just a bit wider, but I had to go with what size zippers I had. And aren't the kitties so cute? So anyway, here's the pattern. Come to the Garden. I'm stitching this on 36 count Weeks Dye Work straw. This is my project number 17 in my book. It finishes around 12.5 by 16.5. And here's what I have so far. So I've got, get both of them in the camera. If I move over more we can. So I've got this flower here done. I think there's a bee up here I haven't done. I'd like to go on and do the angel next and work my way kind of across and then down and across. But watching videos with people that have problems with their borders matching up, I'm thinking that I should probably do my border all the way around and make sure it meets before I go any further on this. But this is another one that I absolutely love and I want to finish this year. I've got a long way to go. So this is going to have to probably be almost an every month rotation. Whether that be, I'm not going to commit myself to certain days. It might just be a 1 day, a 1 month. But it's going to be a little bit, try to get a little bit done on it because I have so many WIPs. I want to get my WIPs down, but I also want to start a whole bunch of stuff. So anyway, there's the floss. Beautiful colors. Teresa Kogut is awesome with colors. And that's Come to the Garden. Oops, closed my bag. I need to get making some project bags too because I'm short on project bags. See how I have to do that to get them in. And I didn't make these project cards until just before StitchCon last spring, so I had to go through my older WIPs and put the information in. Some of them are missing a bit of information, which I'll have to go in and add after when I work on them. And these buttons that I make, they come off when I finish a project. They come off, and I've got a vintage mason jar that I put them in, and I'm just anxious to see that fill up. So this was a club through Fat Quarter Shop, and I only got the autumn and winter. I missed the other ones, but here's the autumn one, and it is on 28 count thin white pine by Fabric Flair, and this was what was sent with the kit. It Classic Colorworks floss, and I know you're not supposed to just pull one strand and double it over when you're using over dyes for your floss, but I don't really care. I think it, like, I don't know, I like it the way it is, and I like making that loop when you start so that I don't have to do any kind of a knot or any kind of thing. So I kind of like that, but I've still got, I pretty much got this house done, so I've got another house done, and autumn, and then the months down here. So this might take me probably a good 7 days at least to do, but you know, if I slotted in 3 days here and 3 days there, I should get fairly close to being done. And then once I'm done this one, I'll start the next, the winter one in this series. And then I might have to buy the pattern and everything for the spring and summer one. I started this on November 10th, 2023, and it is my project number 13 in my book. And then they sent this along as well. That was part of the kit. Okay, this is another Lori Holt bag I made, and this is another Lori Holt. Looks like the crochet. What was that called? A scissor drop, a charm? I don't know. Okay, I need to find the picture with the cover. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, here's a picture of it finished. And here's a picture of what I've got done so far. So I've got a fair amount finished. In my book, this is project number 14. It was started on September 22nd, 23. And this is from the Fat Quarter Shop, and it's stitched on 14 count small cobwebs by Fabric Flair. And then these are the floss. They're all just DMC floss for it. So I'm pretty good. Like, I gotta go out to Haunted House here, and then I think it would probably go down around there. This is fun to stitch though, because it's just letters for words and then a few shapes. So I'm thinking once I'm finished my flea market flowers downstairs, this is my morning stitch, I will just grab this one and finish this one. I do in a way stitch in season, but then again I don't. If I want to stitch something, I stitch it, whether it's in season or not. And this I just took a picture off the internet from my little tag. I'm going to have to spend a day making tags because I've got so many more projects that don't have tags now. Okay, I ran out of bags. So I've got these bags from Amazon. They work. That's probably going to be too much of a glare. So this is the 12 Berries of Christmas by Erica Michaels. And I started on this one, Partridge in a Pear Tree. And this I did last year, 2023. I did the 12, what I called the 12 starts of Stitchmas, the first 12 days of December, and I did it again in 2024. And I grabbed 12 things that I wanted to start. And some of them I worked on again, and others I didn't. So this was my start on this one, my one-day stitching last year. And this is the floss. It's all Weeks Dye Works. It's the called for floss. It's stitched on 36 count Weeks Dye Works, which used to be called Confederation Gray. It's now just called Gray. And yeah, so I'm doing one. I've still got 2 more to go. And this is a pattern I picked up at Keepsakes when I was there, when I went to the Ark in 2022, I believe it was. 2023. 2023. I love this linen. I really like it. I'd like to get working on this again. This is going to go in some kind of rotation this month. It needs a bag, or this year I should say. It needs a bag though. But this is a good bag in the meantime. Then we've got Savor Every Stitch. These are also our bags I got out online at Amazon, and I like it because I can keep the thread in a separate spot. But these are Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works floss. Beautiful colors. I love the colors. Oops, my hoop fell out. Okay, so this is Stitch Every Day. I thought I might have said Savor Every Stitch. This is Stitch Every Day. And I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to do the drum. But then I could change my mind and get brave. This I worked on this year. It was one of my WIP calls as well. This was also one of my 2023 12 starts of Stitchmas. That's just something I do. I don't think anybody else does it, but I do. And at first I was really good at putting photos up on Instagram the first year I did it. Last year I wasn't feeling good, and I just couldn't seem to do it. So I don't have any from 2024. This is Hands-On Designs. It's stitched on 36 count stately by Fortnight Fabrics, and started on December 3rd, 2023. So I've got a fair amount of stitching to go. I've got all of this in the middle here, and then, oh, I still have the trees on this side, yeah, and then the bottom to go. And I think these are Smyrna. Just let me look here. Smyrna crosses, yeah. There's Smyrna cross stitch, and I think there's like a pin stitch border, and we'll see when I get there. But that's definitely going to get worked on this year. I don't know if it'll get finished. It's not that far along. It might end up extending into another year, but definitely going to get worked on. And there's my button. This is the Traveling Stitcher. And that's this here. And then there's that one to do as well. These are my classic Colorworks, my floss for it. You know, when I bought all these patterns at Keepsakes that year, I went online to 123 Stitch when I got home and ordered floss to finish them. It was like $300 worth of floss. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, this is started on December 5th, 23. This is my project number 25, and it is on 36 count Twyla by Grace Notes Fabrics. I like Grace Notes Fabrics. I belong to her club, and I like stitching on her linens. So that's where we are. That's what I did in a day. Like, sometimes a day is only an hour, sometimes a day is a few hours, but it wasn't very long. And that's where I am. And yeah, I have a ways to go on this, but I sure would like to see it done. I would like to see it done before StitchCon so I could take it there and use it, but who knows? I'm not going to stress myself out. And that's in one of my lovely Amazon. These I bought for quilting, but sure glad I got them. My embroidery, machine embroidery, I could put them all on a ring and cut things out ahead of time. Here's the Queen's Garden, and it's got another charm on. I think this charm might be from Hobby Lobby, though. I don't think it's a Lori Holt charm. Okay, this one is close to being done. This is project number 27 in my project book. The Queen's Garden by the Scarlet House. I just love her hair. It looks so cool. So I just have to stitch this and the flowers, and then I believe the bees are 1/1, and I was scared to do them, so I never did them, because usually I start up here and work my way across. But now I'm not so scared anymore. So this is stitched on 36 count Heritage by Picture This Plus. I have Picture This Plus fabric too that I like. I was in a fabric club last year, and I got some fabric from them, and I like stitching on it too, even though it's a little tighter than others. But look at the modeling. I can't wait to get this up and out. This was started on December 3rd, 2023. Oops. Oh, here we go. I couldn't find my bag. And this is a bag that I sew my own bags. I don't buy bags generally. I have so much fabric here that I could be sewing for a long, long time. And finally, in this basket, I have Under a Quilt. There's my little tag. Oops. So this is by Hands On Designs, and it's Under a Quilt, and I love this, but I didn't care for the color palette very much. This is number 24 in my my book. Started on December 7th, 2023, which means it was one of my 12 starts of Stitchmas. It's cut on 36 count Fiber on a Whim, Color Happens. And this was a WIP call last year. It was WIP code number 15, so I got most of this done. I would have had more done, but I made a mistake early on, and then I had to pick everything out. But as you can see, I've changed the colors. And I might have kept the purple, but I've changed it to pinks because I like pink. And yeah, that's where I am on that. You can see my pinks are Pink Champagne, Pink Posy, and Cranberry, Hyacinth, Oatmeal, and Weeks Dye Works Onyx. So that's one that's fairly close to being done. That, you know, a few good days and it could be a finish. Okay, these don't count in my WIPs, but I thought I would show them to you. These are little Woolies by the Wooden Bear Quilt Designs. And there's the October Witch Ride, June Beehive, and as you can see, there's extra stitching on some of these besides the blanket stitch that goes around. There's September Owl, May Cottage, and February Lovebirds. So that's all I have of them, and so I'll just show you. So I've got this one where I've got some swirls to sew down, some veining on the leaves, and then some bark, I guess, marks. And then they're finished, and I'm going to put them in project bags, I think. Make them to the cover of a project bag. Oh, that's the backing for that. Once you're done, you sew it onto the back. Here's the house. These flip up. Well, I guess, no, that one flips up. I must have fused them all the way down. And I do my blanket stitching on my machine. You get a nice job. Here's the Lovebirds. They'll need eyes as well as the other stitching. So I really should finish these. I should put them by my stitching chair and work on them, because you know what, it doesn't take long to do all the little things, and then this is done and it's on something and it's usable instead of just sitting there. There's the witchy poo. So this is for the back if you want to make it so you can put it on a pocket rod of some kind. You just stitch that to the back, but I don't think I'm doing that. I think I've decided I'm going to make them into project bags. So I just thought I'd show you that because I did have it out for the WIP Parade. Okay, some of this is very unorganized. And it's out of order. So this doesn't follow in any kind of order from this point on. I don't know how I got them all mixed up, but I did. So this is Autumn is as Joyful by Lila Studio. And I called it Lila Studio, but I've since found out that it's Lila. Or been told by others that it's Lila. I don't need that in there. I love this. And I started it at my mom's on September 21st. This is number 70 in my book of WIPs. This is the last one in my book of WIPs. Of all my projects so far. This was started September 21st, 2024. And this is stitched on 36 count Regency linen. But I started stitching on it and I didn't have this color. So I had to pick it up. And I don't have any of these on floss drops, which I'll have to do before I stitch on it again. And I'm going to put this in here because that just got crinkled up from... Just helps to keep the project bag nice and neat, even though I have to make a project bag for this guy, but there we go, that's better. So here's where I'm at. Like I said, I got the first 3 leaves done, and then I need to do the rest, and I love this. This is going to get a little bit of work every month as well. It might only be the 21st, it might be the 10th. But I do want to get to where the Quakers are. I really do. And then I need to, when I get the autumn, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. First, I need to get these on floss drops because I really like working from floss drops. But I was at my mom's and I must have not brought any up to put these on, so, and I know I'm missing a color that I have now that I need to get put away. So again, these are totally out of order. I don't know what I did when I packed them up, but I sure got them out of order. I really do like these project bags from Amazon. Okay, so this is from Owl Forest Embroidery. It is Star Dragon. Actually, I have a paper that's not. That's not there. I love this. I love dragons and mythical creatures and all that. So this is the called for floss of Owl Forest Embroidery floss. And it's, oh, and why is that not, oh, there. So these are the 4 colors that are used, and they're just gorgeous colors. They're so rich and vibrant, but they do break easily. Like I find if I don't wax the thread, I usually end up with it fraying and breaking. I bought the needle minder for this one, and this is where I'm at. So I've got this done to here. And then some of this, I think I've got that all done. So I'm working across now, and I'm going to try to do the whole border before I continue on. But I'm going to end up starting in these flowers, I know it. And then this is a space that I'll probably end up filling in, and then I may want to go in, so who knows. This is my birthday stitch for 2023. It was started on my birthday, July 30th. It's number... Ooh, I got the wrong number here. I've got number 70, but I know it's not 70. It is on 40 count millstone by Legacy Fiber Arts. And I'm using the Owl Forest floss for it. Love this. And the needle minder, it is strong. So that I work on the 30th and the 31st, if there is one of every month. And sometimes I keep going on to the 1st. But I haven't done them, I didn't do any of my regular stitching November or December. I just did Christmas stitching then. So these didn't fall into my rotation. So what you see is what was done the last time I did a Flosstube. Oh, I love this. I love, love, love this. This is Susan by Carolyn Manning, and a friend of mine, Stitchy Brat or Stitch Brat on YouTube. I'll have to look that up. Anyway, Barb started doing this, and I thought, I'm going to do it too. So I started with the stitch along, but I just haven't kept up with it. I was doing a Manning Monday for a while, and I got quite a bit done, but then again, when Christmas came, I stopped with my dailies or my rotation. So this, I don't have a project card in this one. Well, that's interesting. So much for my organizing. So this is stitched on 40 count clover by Atomic Ranch. I picked that up when I was at StitchCon. It actually goes this way, and it's gorgeous. These are the DMCs it calls for. They're beautiful. Because you're often stitching a couple of stitches of a color and then you're switching, I picked this up off of Amazon, and I have some of the colors I use the most. I have them preloaded in here. I love this. It is so gorgeous. The only problem is I'm out half a stitch somewhere in here, and I fixed it here, so this is all right, but I'm gonna have to stitch down based on this chart and find out where it is and fix it along the way, which means I could be out half a stitch here, which there's so little done on this next page. What I might do is just frog it if I am, and fix it here. But it is so gorgeous. I can't wait to finish this, and I'm so glad I did it on this green. It is so vibrant. It's just beautiful. Can I show you the back? No, my back is pretty messy. I carry threads. I carry them if I can. If I don't think they'll show, I carry them. I don't know how come I don't have a project card for this one though. But I will fix that. Because that way I can take notes as I'm doing it. Like if I could take notes about how I'm half a stitch out, and you know, just if you remember what years later, you know, what you thought of while you were stitching, and just that kind of thing. This basket is super tight. I shouldn't put that one in there because the needles stick out. Okay, this I started in July, beginning of July, middle of July. I was at my mom's still. I had problems with my air conditioning in my vehicle, and I had to go up to I had to go up to Regina twice and stay there for about a week, because the first time I brought it home it didn't work. So then I had to go back up and get it looked at again, and this needle has been traveling. I have a few needles on the go here, which I never leave it with the back. I only worked on this one night at Mom's, and then I haven't picked it up since. and part of it is the linen. I'm using 28 count linen from Michael's, the DMC linen. I love the looks of it, but I don't like to stitch on it much, but it does look really nice. And I'm working on, oh, where is it? This one here, the cardinals I started on. So Wendy, oh, she changed her YouTube name, Wendy's Stitching Spot. I don't know if that's what it is, but she had started this as a stitch along, and I never did join the stitch along because I never got much done, but it's beautiful. Like these I'd make as, excuse me, as tree ornaments. I have a tree upstairs here, and I would decorate it in the summer with those. But here's the DMC. I didn't floss drop them, which could be a reason why I don't go back to it very often. But, and again, thank you for Amazon. I made 25 bags last year. Well, I made more than that, but I made 25 that I took with me to StitchCon. And I gave them away. I gave all of them away. So I should have made more for myself. This is Rachel Seller 1882. I love this. And this was my first foray into 100 silks, 100 threes. And I have mixed feelings about them. This is Velt from Picture This Plus, 36 count. No, it's 40 count Velt because I didn't like it on 36. I need to change that. 40 count Velt. Again, I've got July. I don't know the exact date. I think it might have even been June. This was my project number 66 as I put it in my book. And here's the 100 threes. I love it. I love it stitching on with a 28 needle on 40 count. I did it on 36 count and I didn't like it, so I switched to the 40. So I've only really got, I've got Rachel Seller, age 12, 1882, and God is Love, and then finish off the border. But something that's, I just don't know what I did. This circle here, oops, you can't see, sorry. So this is what I've got left to do. I've got left to do Rachel Seller, age 12, this whole stretch here, and then finish the border off. But if you look here, this O has a space between it to the border, and mine is right tight to the border, which doesn't matter because nobody knows that looking at it. But all my other ones are fine. Just that one, I must have added an extra stitch somewhere. I don't know. I've looked at it quite a few times and I can't see where, so I'll just live with it. But this is another one. This is probably one of the ones that is going to get worked on soon to finish it. And then the silks can go in my stash. These are the only 100 threes that I own at the moment because I bought this in a kit, and they're beautiful. And I love stitching with the silk, but I don't know if it's something that I'll keep doing with these. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, this is from StitchCon. I used floss tags that I got at StitchCon, all the different ones. I used them to put my floss on for this project. It's all DMC. And I'm supposed to have this done for StitchCon this year. So this definitely has to go in a rotation so many days a month, probably 5 to start with to see where I get, because that's all I've got is the S. but this is number 65 in my book, and this is stitched on 36 count Blue Ridge by Atomic Ranch, and I never finished filling out that card. This is called Come to the Garden, and it was exclusive for StitchCon 2024. It's a Sue Hillis design, and yeah, gorgeous, but I just haven't worked on it. So I've got some work to do. This Pam and Steph just keep stitching. They did stitches in this. The girls at my table put a stitch in each, and Neil, a friend I met at StitchCon, he put a stitch in or two as well. So it's just kind of got that special memory, which I should be putting on the card. But when I pick it out to work on it, I will do that. I'll have to update some of my cards then too, and make sure I get all the information that I need on them. Some of them I just made the cards up to get in the bag. And this has got the little StitchCon 2024 bag pull or whatever, and it's the keepsake's house. So I thought that was really cute. What's this one? Did I show this one? Oh, no. Okay, this one we've got to talk about. This is Spring at Hawk Run Hollow. And I've got the bottom part stitched, which looks nice now that I look at it. I've got some tree parts to put in there and finish. But this is stitched on 36 count. Oh, I don't have it in there. I bought it on, oh, here we go. 36 count Zweigart Golden Promise. And I know I'm not going to have enough to go all the way to the top. So I was thinking of switching to a lighter color, because this is more fall looking, the back. And I don't know what I was thinking, because I know I want to do the fall ones, and I want to do the map, and this is exactly the color I want for the map. I just don't know if it's what I want for spring. And I do have a half yard of a lighter color. Can't remember what it's called, but I know I have it in my stash that I could use and restart it from the top down. And I don't know. Here's all the DMC for it. I'm missing. No, I think I've got them all in here. I'll have to look and see. But yeah, that's it. So what do you think? Should I keep stitching on this? But I don't really want it like this though, so I know that's a no, even if you told me to. What I could do is just make this into a cushion and put it somewhere. Because, yeah, I really want lighter linen. I really want lighter linen. And then I'll start at the top, which is probably one of my favorite parts of this whole chart, is that. And I'll stitch it in the order. So this is going to get put on hold for just a short while till I figure out exactly what my measurements are needed and all that jazz. And this is one of the Floss and Cousins cards I got at StitchCon. I figured you've got them, use them. This I was working on Fridays. Every Friday I was pulling this out. And once I get started again, that might be what I do. I don't know. This is packed so tight. What is, oh, okay. I have 2 cards in this one. Well. Okay, this is on a mystery linen. I find the cover. Sorry about this. I'm trying to find the cover for this. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is another Owl Forest embroidery. And this is called Wondrous Garden Custodians. That's why I bought it. Love it. So this was one of my 2024 12 starts of Stitchmas. This was started on December 12th. This uses the called for Owl Forest threads, and again they're absolutely gorgeous. So this didn't get very far. This is on a 40 count Roxy floss from Evertote. This was one in their club that they started, their linen club, but they didn't put, the first one they didn't put the name of it on, so I'm not sure what it is, but it's beautiful. And this is where I'm at. I don't know why I have 2 needles in here. I know you shouldn't put needles, but it's fairly dry here. And none of my whips are going to last, are going to be not worked on that long. So anyways, got to start on it. That's what I got done in the first day. Mom and I probably were shopping or something, or maybe that's the day I went home. I don't know. I'm trying to spend more time up at my mom's. My mom is 86. And, you know, things can happen when they get to be that age. And I want to spend my mom has always been my best friend, and I want to spend as much time with her as I can, while I can. I'm going to be totally devastated if something happens to her, but in the meantime, I want to be there. So I'm not, this week I'm going up tomorrow to get my prescriptions filled. We're just going to make a quick trip in and out of the city. And then next weekend, the 8th of February, I have 2 in here too. I have a doctor's appointment in Regina, and I'm going to go up and stay a few days up there with her. Okay. Love this L-O-V-E. I think I got this from Shakespeare's Peddler, and it came as a kit. This is Margaret Doyle, 1850, by Hands Across the Seas. It's not a very big one. It's 136 by 175. I started this on December 10th, 2024, and it's number 61 in my book. And it's stitched on 36 count Murmur by Picture This Plus. And that's where I am. I didn't get far, but I love this. This is stitched with the called for Soie d'Alger. Oh, I love this floss. Why does it have to be so expensive? I looked and it's about $8 Canadian to get a skein of this, but it's so beautiful. I love this silk, and I think if I can afford it, as long as I can afford it, that will be my silk of choice when I stitch on projects until I get enough of the other silks, because I'm in a silk club that I can maybe substitute. But in the meantime, this is going to be my silk of choice. It is so soft and so beautiful and so wonderful to stitch with. I like it better than the 103s. I like the coverage for it. It has really nice coverage. But, oh, I just love this. I have to look. I have another pattern, Margaret Beatty, I think it is. And I have to see if I have any of the colors in here that she needs. And see how many I have to order. Because it does get expensive. Oh, this is another good one. This is Brick House Sampler by Brenda Gervais. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I ordered a kit from Traditional Stitches out of Calgary. So it came with 28 count mushroom lugana, and it came with the overdyes, which are Gentle Arts, Classic Colorworks, and Weeks Dye Works. It's a combination of those. Very nice muted colors. And then when I finally go to stitch it, I find out you're stitching one thread over one stitch, and it freaked me out. But then I started stitching it, and I love it. I can't wait to finish this one. I never thought I would love stitching one over one, but I do. Now I see why so many others are doing it. And this is on a 28 count, which ends up being, what's 28, 64? No, that's 8 and 8 is 16, 2 and 2 is 4, 54. Beautiful. And now I stitched that in one day. This was started, ooh, I don't have that information on my card. I can see I've got a job to do after this is over. I need to go and make sure my cards are all updated properly. I was really good at that time at writing them in my book as I started them, because this was another the 12 starts of Stitchmas. I'd say that's where most of my WIPs are from. Oh, I love that. And you know what? You love it, you should do it right away, right? Chances are I won't. Chances are I'll try to finish some of the other ones that I had longer. But I really should do that one. Okay, we're almost halfway through this last basket. I don't have a card for this one, or a tag for this one. Oh, this is my Christmas stitching. Okay. I've got a few things to bring out here. I think that's all that I've got to bring out. Okay, so oh, I need my linen. Okay, so we'll start with the first one here. And again, I don't have the dates. Bringing Good Cheer. We'll do that one first. I started this on December 1st as my first 12 starts of Stitchmas. I'm stitching it on 36 count Picture This Plus Velt. Velt is one of my favorite colors from Picture This Plus. It's got golds in it and it's got greens in it, and I just love it. And I need to take it out of the hoop. And here's what I got done so far. It's fairly crinkled. Crinkled, crinkled, crinkled. And then we'll bring the chart over. I'll uncrinkle it and we'll look at the chart. So basically I've just got down a ways from here. And I did put a little stitch out where these start from. And I'll go back and do those after. So I don't have a big start on it, but it's not a very big piece. It's, what, 127 by 183. So it's going to be about 7 1/4 by 10 3/8. So it's not that big. And I'm using, let's see if this is the 1898. Yes, it is. I'm using the Called For floss, which is a combination of Weeks Dye Works and DMC. Aren't they beautiful? And that's that. And this is all stored in one bag because when I want to pull my Christmases out, I've got a big Christmas bag and a little Christmas bag, and I'm going to put them all in there and I can work on them. I'm going to try to do a little Christmas stitching every month as well. So then I've got, let's see what's out here. Okay, so this is, that's not that card. This is Winter Woodland Star by Liz Matthews. I took classes at the Jingle Ball. I never watched them. I never attended the Jingle Ball, and I never did watch it in the 30 days after that we had. I don't know what happened to me December. It flew by so fast, and then I got pneumonia on New Year's, and yeah, it was kind of gone. But anyway, this was a class we could take for the Jingle Ball, and of course you got the pattern. And I was at my mom's, and I started this as one of my 12 starts of Stitchmas, but I have no idea which one it was because I don't have it on my project card. I thought I was so organized. And this is stitched on 36 count vintage country mocha. It's 141 by 134 stitches, so it's going to be about 7 3/4 inches, kind of all the way around. So I started that there. And I guess I didn't start. Oh, yes, I did. Okay. Okay, don't panic, Winona. And I believe 469. Yeah, I believe these are the colors for that one. So we'll put that away in my bag. Oh, and these are in a bag that I made from Lori Holt panels. Okay, and then I started Lindy Stitches. This is another class that I took, and I started this on December 5th. It's number 57 in my book, and it's on It's on the same fabric. It's just on another side of it. So I started stitching this guy. And that's as far as I got. You know, so I thought, oh, I'm going to sew these stockings. They're going to be so cool. But I have sewn for most of my life. And so I think I'm okay with it. I think this is a floss ring for this one. Quite a few colors in there. But, so I think I'll be okay finishing it. We'll see. I don't know anybody else in my group, my StitchCon group. If anybody else took the class, I'll ask them at StitchCon and see. I'm so excited. I'm going to StitchCon weekend B, and I'm running out of space here. Oh, so I'm really excited about that. This is another one, like, let's get this done. This is the Beekeeper Sampler. It's a Twin Peaks Primitives. I picked this up at Grace Notes when I bought some linen from them, or when I joined their linen club. I ordered some charts with some linen, and this was one of them. And you know, the only reason I bought this is for the chickens, but it is beautiful. And these are all the called for. I think they're pretty much all DMC. Beautiful colors. These are so rich. This is stitched. I started this on December 6th. And see, this is another one. This is number 38 in my book because I wrote it in my book when I bought it, and I never did start it for another year. But anyway, this is the beginning of it. It's just the border coming out, and then the start of this rose. I had to start one, and I found it was really hard. I didn't have a photocopy there. I just had the original, and I don't like to mark my originals, and I was really struggling with the counting in here because I couldn't mark it. So I brought it home, and I still haven't taken a photocopy of it, or else scan it in. I should just scan it in and use it on my iPad. But this is another one. Chances are it won't get done this year, but maybe I can make a good bite into it and get quite a bit done. This is in my Amazon bag. Ooh, I love this one. Oh, I still have 2 to floss drop. Wonder why I didn't get those done. Maybe I ran out of the floss drops. Okay, find the cover. Here we go. This is Barbara Anna Designs. I love Barbara Anna Designs. She is funky. If you ever watch my jewelry channel, I make jewelry that I think Barbara Anna characters would wear. I like to wear it. It's very bohemian and gypsy styled. It's me. So anyway, this I started on December 4th. This was one of my 12 starts of Stitchmas. It's project number 36 in my books. And this is stitched on, this again I picked up at Grace Notes. I ordered it when I first started their fabric club or their linen club over a year ago. Oh, here's another one that's not. Okay, we'll have to look at that after. So this is where I'm at. I love this so much. You can tell when I really, really, really like something and Mom and I didn't go shopping, how much I got done. But it's gorgeous. Would love to see this finished this year, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I'm going to try to get all the smaller ones finished, and then I'll pick 1 or 2 large ones. I must have run out of floss drops. Look how wrinkled it gets in my bags. And I know you shouldn't keep it in the hoop, but you know my Rooster that I started 12 years ago, it was in a hoop all that time. It was in a, what are those square ones called that are like PVC pipe? I can't think of what they're called right now, but it was in one of those, and I took it out and the wrinkles went out. It's gonna come to me at the stupidest time. Why can't I think of what that is? Okay, this I am seriously behind on, and it's not my fault. I'll show you this one here. I wanted to do it on the called for linen, so I ordered it, and it didn't come in until November. So this was one of my 12 starts. This was started on December 2nd, and it's number 40 in my book. But this is on 36 count Fox and Rabbits up in the attic. And had I known it was going to take that long, I would have tried to see if I could get 40 count. But it is what it is. So I've just got the first month done. They're already down here already. So, but I'm only going to do 1 a month. So I'm going to be behind, but you know, in 24 months I'll be done. but I've got month 1 done, and then in February I'll do month 2, and I'll try to keep up to do a month long. But if it gets tedious for me, it's not going to go that way. It'll be done another way. But I don't know, like Fox and Rabbit linen is really in high demand, but I'm not sure I like stitching on it. I think it's because the threads kind of puff up, and I'm so used to stitching on Weeks and Grace Notes where it doesn't, and yeah, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to let you know on that, where I'm at on that. Now this one, this is my Christmas smalls. Oops. So I've got all the floss for all of them on here. It's a hot mess, but it's reality. But there's all the floss. We'll start with Christmas Barn by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I actually only picked this up a few months ago at a local quilting shop. And I love it. I love everything Primrose Cottage. I don't know why I don't do more of theirs. Oops. Okay, the only reason this isn't done is I ran out of DMC B5200. And I tried to sub it with white, but I'm really not happy with it. So I had to wait. I went to Regina and they had no B5200 at all. So then when I went to Mine Up, I picked up quite a bit. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it must be 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4:20. So I love this. This is Turkish red. It's one of my favorite reds. It's done in a combination of oh, that's the only overdyed. The rest are all DMCs, and that's a week's color. Oh, I have another stitch card in here. So I started this before my 12 Starts of Stitchmas. This is number 54 in my book. I use the Call for Floss. It's stitched on 28 count picture this plus Heartland Laguna. I thought I would try some Laguna. So there's where I am. All I've got left is, well, I'll probably replace that. It's hard to say, and that. And then I do the snow across, and then the snowman, and one snowflake. So I'm sure I can finish that in no time flat. I love stitching this. It went so quick. Just loved it. Okay, so then Doodles Christmas Barn. See, I was messing myself up here. Okay, so then let's put that in the bag. Oh, it has to stick out of the bag because the bag's too small. That won't be long. I'll finish it up really quickly. So what was next then? This has some blue on it. So then I started Christmas Doodles. And that's where I got to. And I have 2 of these as well. Oh, I'm going to run out of cards. I'm going to have to order new cards. So anyway, this is Doodles Christmas by Heart and Hand. It is a small one, 65 by 65, and there's a lot of open spaces. This was 28 count picture this plus Heartland Laguna, and I just used the Call for threads. This was started December 11th, and it is number 53 in my book. And that's where I am. That's as far as I got on it. So once the barn's finished, that'll be what I work on next. And then I started, well, actually, I'm going to restart this one. Here it is. I started the 2024 Prairie Schooler Santa. And I started stitching it on this, but I think I want to get the Putter Khaki Davos that it's recommended, 18 count. I'll have to think about that. Or maybe I'll just get all of this. But I was stitching on this. It goes this way. It's the horse. And I was really struggling to read the chart and follow it with, I needed a copy of it instead of the original, and I was at Mom's. So I think that I'm either going to scan it in and do it on my iPad or blow it up and do it off of a paper copy. But I'm going to have to look into the call for fabric and see. Like, it looks nice there because I've got other Prairie Schoolers that I want to sew. You'll find in my haul video that I did. And I kind of like them all on the same thing. I'll keep that in there. And I started that on November 23rd, 24. That's my small Christmas bag, which I'm making Christmas bags, so these 2 bags will be replaced with ones that I've made. Okay, we're almost done. This is the farmer, and I don't know. I kept going back. Is it the gardener? It's a farmer. Is it the gardener or the farmer? In love with this. Like, oh, I took out the hoop. I like to keep a hoop in each bag, if possible. I love Cottage Garden Samplings. I think they're one of my favorite companies. I love everything. I wish they didn't take so damn long to stitch. But I don't even have the date I started this. I started this in February, and it was a big, I thought it was the gardener, and I just made a mess in my book with this. But this was started in February of 2024. This is stitched on 36 count pistachio by Roxy Floss from Evertote. And I've got a fair amount done. I want to finish this. Look at that. I just love it. I want to finish this year. Like, I've got a good start on the snowman. Well, not a good start, but in my world, a good start. I have to do another flower up here, and I've got some little chicks floating around, and then finish the fruit and the basket. So I've still got a fair amount to go, but I just love it. There's the floss. Lots of DMC and just a few. Yeah, 1 week's dye works for the vest and his clothing. The rest is all DMC. It's so gorgeous. I want to finish it and I want to frame it. So that means I have to work on it. So maybe 1 month I'll give it a 5-day rotation, and another month I'll do that, and by the end of the year hopefully I'll get it done. Where's the bag? And this is in another bag and I think I'm going to rename this bag the Snowman Collector, and make tags for each of the patterns, because I have all of the patterns. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I just do them as they come up. I keep them in my patterns until they're done. This one I did not get a stitch in last year. I was really good with, oh, that's WIPCO? I was really good with it last year. Every month I was caught up, I was done. And then November hit, and all I wanted to sew was Christmas. And this was one of my November or my December draws, and I didn't do them at all. I wanted to get Christmas ornaments done for my tree. So anyway, don't have the date started on this one either. I'll have to go through my book. So these are the floss. I think they're all DMC. You use a lot of different colors when you do a Sue Hillis Designs pattern. There's my little. So here's the pattern. I have her Christmas pattern, and I've done parts of it. I don't think I showed it. It must be in here somewhere. But I did parts at a time. I didn't do the whole thing. And this one I'm doing the whole thing. And I'm stitching this on 14 count blue check by Fabric Flare. I picked this up from, well, it's Kimberly's Blue Gingham, so it's Fat Quarter Shop. And that's where I got last year, not last year, the year before when I started it. And I think it was one of my starts, my 12 starts of Stitchmas, but I could be wrong. But yeah, like the snowman, the lettering each is three strands of floss. Just excuse me for a minute. I'm tired of my nose dripping here. Okay, so that's that. I love it. I didn't realize how intense it was, but I think that's about the worst. I think the rest, like the snowmen, are all white and all that. This is another one that could end up downstairs for my morning stitch. I think dedicating that crochet time, I might finish the Afghan that I started, but I think I'll dedicate the rest of that time to 14 count. I think I can get quite a bit done. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was worried that the other one wasn't here. I think Sue Hillis I could be wrong, but I think she's Barbara's sister from Keepsakes. But I could be right out there too. This is Luminous Fiber Arts. This is Savor Every Stitch. This was started on my 12 Days of Stitchmas in 2023, and it's one of my keepsakes charts. This is, in my book, is project number 21. This is 36 count Cyrus, I think it is, by Fiber on a Whim. And it's not that big. Why is it taking me so long to finish it? These are the call for floss. Looks like a combination of Gentle Arts, Classic Colorworks, Weeks, and DMC. Oh, I have another card in here. Oh my goodness. Oh. I need to get working on these so that I get the project cards straightened out. So that's as far. I worked on this. It was one of my WIP draws for 2024. And I worked on it. I finished the border. I actually had to redo the border because I did it wrong and it didn't match up. So then I had to redo it. And then I got this done. But I still have a fair amount to do. But again, 5 days, you know, here and there, it can be done. And it will be done. Even though I plan on starting lots this year. Well, and I really need to make some project bags. This is another bag I made. This I got from StitchCon last year. Someone left it at the table. Love it. This is Windowsill of Heaven. Okay. Got a little story about this one too. This bag isn't quite big enough for this either. I started making my bags bigger after I made these. But look at this. Isn't this beautiful? I've had this fabric probably for almost 20 years. And look how good it goes with this red and this bag. And then the back is the same. And then the inside is this there. And then I used... But yeah, that's the nice thing about... Oopsie. I'm going to have to fix that. Oh, I think it just came out of the jump ring. I can fix that. I make jewelry. I can fix that. Okay, so this is the called for floss. Love it. I love this palette. I love pastels. I love every color though. I don't think there are too many colors I don't like. And if I was to be honest with you, those colors would be shades of blue. I'm just not a big blue person. But as I get older, I find I am liking it better. But this is the Windowsill of Heaven. Excuse me, by Rosewood Wet Manor. And I love looking at this. I love it. I don't like stitching it. I don't know what it is. I don't like stitching it. And it makes it hard for me for this to be one that I want to pick up and finish. Like, it wouldn't take long to do. I think this is almost about halfway. And it wouldn't take long, but I don't know if it's the way it's charted or what. There's a lot of color change, which could be part of it. As you can see, I've got strands all over the place. But I don't know. I don't know. This was started on December 10th, 2023. It was one of my 12 starts of Stitchmas. And I believe it was one of my WIP draws last year, and that's how I got finished up to there. You know, sometimes when I do WIP or when I start on a project for a rotation, I hate to put it down. I really have a hard time putting it down. And other times, oh, once those days are done, I'm done with it. It goes put away and I don't even think about it. And this is one of those. But I just love it. I love it to look at. And I want it done. That's not going to work, is it? Anyway, this is stitched on 36 count Dirty Porcelain by Roxy. Roxy Floss out of Everett in Canada. I love working on her linens. And I'm thinking that might be what I kind of stick to in the years to come, because the exchange rate for us is just terrible right now. But anyway, this is a stitch count of 200 by 100. and I don't know when I'll finish it. Okay, we got 2 more left. This is Martha S. Scott, 1876, and I did a patch job. This fabric wasn't long enough to fit here. No, that wasn't it. When I sewed it, I didn't have enough to, I cut it wrong, and the batting was still showing. And this is narrow enough as it is. I don't want to make it any narrower. So I had some kitten stuff left, and this kind of reminds me of my cat Chloe that passed away a couple of years ago. So I put Chloe up here. It's not really like Chloe. Chloe was white through here, and he had a brown. He had like Adolf Hitler mustache, but I sure do miss him. And okay, his name is Chloe, right? I thought he was a girl. He's really, really fuzzy cat, and I thought he was a girl. And so I named him Chloe, and it's kind of a joke because I have a dog named George, and my little great niece, they were here for Christmas one year, and she was about 5 years old then, and she's like, well, how can that be? You have a George? Your dog's George, my brother's George. And then it finally clicked. She says, you have a George and I have a George. So anyway, when I got the cat, I thought, well, I've got a cat named George. I should name, a dog named George, sorry. I should name the cat Chloe. So I named her Chloe. Well, then about 6 months later, I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, you're starting to look very much like a tomcat. So I checked, and sure enough, he was a tomcat. So we had to get him fixed. And getting him fixed was the best thing because his hair was starting to go short. And once we got him fixed, his hair was nice and soft again. But I really struggle with names. And I tried to change his name, but I just couldn't do it. Like, if you ask my kids, I can never get their names right. You know, and they're like close to 40. And so anyway, I figured Chloe didn't mind if he was called Chloe as long as he was called what he was called, right? And I really do miss him. He was a real bugger, but he had personality. Okay, so ooh, there's the chart. And I'm assuming that's the antique. I think I saw Brenda from Brenda and the Cereal Maker. Cereal Starter? I think she did this a few years ago, and I just loved it. So, what do I have on the card? This was project number 26 in my book, and I started this December 9th, 2023. This was another of my 12 starts of Stitchmas. This is by GGR, and it is 198 stitches by 127, so it's doable, and it's on 36 count grad notes by Molly. I think that's what it is. It was hard to read the writing. Isn't that pretty? So here's where I'm at. I think I did this for this must have been a a WIP call. And the yellows kind of ghost a bit more on the screen than they do in the QRs. But they don't ghost in real life that much. But look how, as I go up, I'm getting less and less. You have to watch that, hey? You almost should run a thread when you go to start something, because if this was much longer, well, I'd still have an inch that I could play with. But anyway, got a long ways to go on this one, but you know, if you picked it up for a 5-day rotation here and there, and once you get down here, you'll just really want to stitch. And I think when I can, I'm going to keep the person's name and their age on the charts that I stitch. I think that's kind of important to recognize that someone else, you stitch this from someone else. And you know, you can always put your name on or your initials on, and on the back of your framing piece you can write the information down. That's stitched in another one of my tall narrow bags, and I think this is the end. I think I took these out the wrong order. This is It's Christmas, and there's like a little Christmas ball. The bag's not very Christmassy, but I love red. I live on a farm We have a few Holsteins, but mostly we're dairy cows. Not dairy cows, beef cattle. We have a couple of horses at the other farm, my son's place. Okay, so here's the bag. The inside is just this little cross stitch, and the back is all on the farm. So this is another Sue Hillis pattern, and it's Christmas. And this was a WIP co-draw this month. It was also one of my 12 starts of Stitchmas for 2023. It was started December 8th. And I am not stitching this as a whole. I'm taking pieces out and I'm stitching them on their own. And then I'm going to make Christmas tree ornaments with them. Or cushions, I haven't decided yet. And this is stitched on, I think it's stitched on that same stuff from Michael's, but I put 28 count Witchelt from Hobby Lobby. But I don't know, it might be that stuff, that DMC stuff from Michael's. But that's what I've got so far. I've done deck the halls and hang the stockings. So probably I'll have to pick up, do a few more this year. I don't have this back stitched right here. I need to back stitch that. I miss that. Sometimes it's good to look at things again. There's a lot of back stitching, but like I said, I don't mind back stitching. And look at the colors. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Oopsie, I left some color. Oh, I'm putting those away. I saw some floss to my side and thought, oh no, I left it out of a bag. Oh, I'm yawning again. So there we are. And that concludes my WIP Parade. I hope I didn't bore you. But I do have a lot that I can finish in the coming year. And if I don't, I farm. There's always next year. That's one thing you learn when you farm, is there's always next year, because many years, this year isn't very good for your farm. You don't get the prices you need to stay afloat, so you always say there's always next year. Or you want to buy this? Well, next year you can buy it, but next year never seems to come. But anyway, I am yawning here because I'm at my tired time of the day, and my husband's going to come in right away and say, where's supper? And he's going to be mad. So anyway, I think that's it for my WIP Parade. Well, I missed one project, one of my WIPs, so I'll just quickly show it to you here. Oops. This is one I've started doing every morning. I put in one thread. Let's undo this here. So this is it. This I got off the internet from Mar X Stitch, and it's their pattern number S13. And right now I'm just working on this, doing the border all the way around, and this inner border, and then I'll work on this and that after I finish that. I've got quite a ways to go. I just started doing one thread just in January here, so, but I had started it before. But there's where I'm at. I'm using this DMC 4030 variegated. I'm still not totally sure if I like it or not, but I like stitching it. This is, I believe it's porcelain from Evertote, and I should have it in here actually. Or I don't have it. I don't have a card for this one. Anyway, so I finished this. This is the first page finished with the borders, and I'm almost done the second page. Man, I hope I'm gonna have, let's just do something here. Oh yeah, I was worried I wouldn't have enough fabric, but this is the center and there's plenty of fabric, so it stitches fairly fast as I'm doing it, and I really do enjoy it. This border here is so easy to put together, and so are the straight lines. This one is a little bit more complicated. I think it's easier going this way than that way, and I probably made mistakes along the way. That looks like I might have made a mistake there. I'll have to check it out. But anyway, that's what I'm working on. Boy, I hope I didn't make a mistake there. I'd have to pick all that out. Oops, sorry. Well, I hope you enjoyed my WIP Parade, and if you did, would you please consider subscribing to my channel and liking the video, and ring the bell so that you're notified when my videos come out, because I'm not very regular at posting, but I know I will have a massive haul video coming out sometime next week. Our post office was on strike for over a month, and I'm getting stuff from November to now, and I thought I'm going to do just a haul video. That's all I'm going to do in that video. So ring that bell so you're notified when that Flosstube comes up. And shortly after that, I'll do a regular Flosstube and get caught up on all my finishes. So I guess that's it. Thank you, and I wish you well in the coming weeks. I wish you lots of love and happiness until we meet again. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.